For 2 decades, it was the whisper in the background of the global financial world, a story of potential and patience that felt more like a legend than an investment strategy. If you are hearing this, you are likely one of the steadfast ones, one of the individuals who saw a vision for a nation rebuilt and an economy reborn, and you held on to that belief through years of silence, conflicting reports, and outright skepticism from the mainstream financial institutions that never understood this unique play. That whisper has just exploded into a global roar, and the wait, that agonizing 20-year wait, is officially over. Breaking news is flooding the financial wires and specialized currency markets at this very moment, confirming that both the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong have not just seen minor upticks or hopeful speculation, but have hit record-breaking, unprecedented exchange rates against the US dollar and other major world currencies. An event so significant it can only be described as the beginning of the long-prophesied revaluation phase. The markets are in a state of controlled chaos, with banks and international currency exchanges scrambling to adjust their digital tickers and recalibrate their trading algorithms to account for this monumental shift that fundamentally rewrites the value proposition of 2 of the most watched currencies in the world. This is not a drill, nor is it the kind of unsubstantiated rumor that has circulated in online forums for years. This is a coordinated, deliberate, and historic move executed with precision by the Central Bank of Iraq and the State Bank of Vietnam, acting in a synchronized dance that signals a new era of economic sovereignty and global financial integration for their nations. The very foundation of their economies has been meticulously prepared for this moment, with Iraq moving aggressively away from a dollar-dependent oil economy and forging new trade partnerships that bypass traditional Western financial channels, while Vietnam's explosive growth in manufacturing, technology, and exports has finally reached its critical mass, demanding a currency valuation that truly reflects its powerhouse status in Southeast Asia. The numbers on the screen now are real, they are tangible, and they represent a financial reset that has the potential to alter personal fortunes on a scale we have rarely witnessed in modern history. For you, the holder of these currencies, this is the validation of every single moment you spent researching, every doubt you pushed aside, and every instinct that told you this day would eventually arrive. The narrative has been flipped entirely. The question is no longer if the revaluation will happen, but what do I do now that it has begun? The global financial ecosystem is reacting with a velocity that confirms the authenticity of this event. We are seeing immediate fluctuations in precious metals, shifts in forex pairs tied to emerging markets, and a palpable tension in the investment world as analysts who once dismissed this possibility are now frantically trying to catch up to a story that you, the dedicated individual, have been following for years. This is your moment of vindication. A moment where the patience of the many is finally rewarded by the action of the few key financial institutions that held the power to make this a reality. The record-breaking rates you are seeing are the direct result of decades of economic restructuring, political stabilization, and strategic international monetary agreements that have all converged at this single point in time, creating a perfect storm of financial opportunity that you are now positioned directly in the center of. The long night is over, and the dawn of a new financial day for the dinar and the dong is here, and it is brighter and more promising than anyone could have ever anticipated. So, what does this actually mean for you, sitting at home with your currency, watching these numbers change in real time? Let's cut through the noise and get directly to the heart of the matter, because understanding the mechanics of this move is crucial to your next, most important steps. The truth behind these record-breaking rates is a complex tapestry woven from geopolitical strategy and raw economic necessity. For Iraq, this revaluation is the final, masterful stroke in a long campaign to shed the financial burdens imposed after the war and to step onto the world stage as a stable, sovereign nation with a currency that reflects its vast natural resource wealth and human capital, effectively ending the era of the currency being artificially suppressed for complex international reasons. The Central Bank of Iraq has been working relentlessly behind the scenes, building up substantial foreign currency reserves, cracking down on money laundering and corruption that plagued the system, and implementing monetary policies that have steadily increased the dinar's real purchasing power within the country, all of which were prerequisite conditions for this public, global launch of its new value. Simultaneously, Vietnam's State Bank executed a parallel strategy, leveraging the country's incredible economic boom. It's one of the fastest-growing economies in the world, to justify a strong dong that would combat inflation, attract more sophisticated foreign direct investment beyond simple manufacturing, and elevate its status to a regional financial hub. The coordination between these two nations, while not explicitly stated in a joint press release, is evident in their timing. This is a powerful signal to the global financial community that emerging markets are no longer content to play by the old rules and are now assertively claiming their rightful value, creating a domino effect that we expect to see ripple through other currencies in the coming months. Now, for the most critical question, what do these new exchange rates mean for you as a global investor and currency holder? It means the asset you hold in your possession, whether it's a stack of dinars or a bundle of dong, now possesses a significantly higher intrinsic value when converted back into your home currency, be it US dollars, euros, or British pounds. The potential for life-changing profit, the very dream that drew so many to this investment, is now sitting in your hands, not as a future promise, but as a present-day reality. However, and this is paramount, the process of converting this theoretical value into tangible wealth in your bank account requires a careful, educated, and deliberate approach to avoid costly mistakes and to maximize your return. The when and how to cash in is now the single most important decision you will make. The initial surge you are witnessing is likely just the beginning. As more international banks formally recognize the new rates and as liquidity floods into the market, we could see a stabilization period followed by further appreciation, so timing your exit strategy is key. Furthermore, the how involves identifying which financial institutions are legally authorized and equipped to handle such exchanges at the official rate, as not every local bank will have the systems or the mandates in place immediately, and you must be wary of third-party exchanges offering rates that seem too good to be true, as they often are. This historic move is the core of the RV 2025 timeline that many analysts have been projecting, and we are now in the active phase where your knowledge and swift, informed action will separate a good outcome from a truly exceptional one. The path forward is now clear, and your window of opportunity is wide open, but it will not stay that way indefinitely. The next key steps in this RV 2025 timeline are already unfolding, and your awareness of them will dictate the final outcome of your entire investment journey. We are currently in what financial experts call the announcement and adjustment phase, where the new rates are public and the global financial infrastructure is straining to keep up with the implications. Over the next several days and weeks, you will witness a cascade of official recognitions from major central banks around the world, followed by the deployment of updated exchange protocols at the Treasury level. Your immediate focus should be on verification. Do not rely on a single source for your information. You must be monitoring official channels like the Central Bank of Iraq's website and the State Bank of Vietnam's press releases, alongside reputable financial news services that are now being forced to cover this story. This is how you separate the confirmed reality from the residual hype that will inevitably swirl around an event of this magnitude. The timeline will progress into the liquidity and exchange phase, where the physical and electronic mechanisms for converting your currency become fully operational and widely accessible. This is when you will execute your personal cash-in strategy. It is strongly advised that you do not rush to the first currency exchange kiosk you see. Their systems will be outdated, and their rates will not be favorable. Patience, which has been your greatest asset for 20 years, remains your ally now. You must wait for the major international and online banks, the ones with direct lines to the Federal Reserve and other central banks, to formally announce their procedures for accepting large exchanges of dinar and dong. This process will solidify, and when it does, you will be able to move forward with confidence and security. Furthermore, you must be prepared for the tax implications of this windfall. Consulting with a financial advisor who specializes in foreign currency transactions is not just a recommendation, it is an absolute necessity to protect your newfound wealth from unnecessary erosion. This entire event, from the first breaking news alert to the final deposit in your account, is a testament to your foresight. You believed in the potential of nations rising from the ashes of conflict and emerging from the shadows of obscurity to claim their economic destiny. You held an asset that the world told you was a lost cause, and now you are witnessing that very asset transform into a key that can unlock a future of financial freedom and generational wealth. The story of the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong is no longer a story of waiting. It is a story of fulfillment. It is a story that proves that in the vast, unpredictable ocean of global finance, the greatest rewards are often reserved for those who have the courage to anchor themselves to a vision, even when the currents of popular opinion are flowing fiercely in the opposite direction. You were right to hold. You were right to believe. And now, you are right to act. Do not let this historic moment pass you by at the final hurdle. The information you need is out there, the rates are live, and the future you envisioned is now waiting for you to claim it. The moment we've all waited for is here, but it's just the beginning. Your next move is critical. I want you to be fully prepared. Go down into the comments right now and tell me which currency you hold and what your biggest question is about the cash-in process. I am reading every single comment, and your questions will shape our next urgent video where we will answer them directly. Do not make a move until you are 100% certain. Let's navigate this historic opportunity together.